Hello, Laurie. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get started with a few questions, how about you introduce yourself? Tell us.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, good morning. I'm Laurie Tonneson, and I just finished Kristen's Job Joy program and in consulting and started because I wanted to start my own business potentially.
Amazing. And so let's rewind back, bring us back to before you started when you were considering joining the program. Where were you? What was on your mind?
Mhm. Yeah, I'd had this idea rattling around in my head that I wanted to start my own kind of consulting so I could do that on the side or potentially as a full-time sort of opportunity, but just felt very kind of stuck and overwhelmed. And while I knew I could deliver the work, how to get from that thought to my own delivery for some reason was a mystery to me.
Yes. And so you made it through the program. I don't want to do a spoiler alert. I'm going to let you do that. Tell us where you're at now.
So, where I'm at now is I got my first independent consulting.
Yes.
So, I did. So, that's exciting and terrifying, scarier than I thought it would be.
And it's official. I mean, you're an LLC. Like, this is real. This has happened.
Yep.
You're an
Yep.
official person. You're
Yep.
an
Just
official
need my
person.
tax ID. But yes, I exist. I could work without a tax ID, but better not to.
Yeah, of course. I want you to get all your ducks in a row. But I'm so excited for you. I mean, this is a huge moment. And like we've talked about before, it's normal to be scary. Welcome to the world of entrepreneurship. um, And, is there anything, any ahas or surprises or anything about the process that you would like to share? Because we cover a lot in 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's a couple probably. Just the process of getting from where I was then to where I am now seems like it went really fast. So I didn't think it would happen that quickly. And some of the focus in the program on sort of the why and not just kind of the tactical steps, although those were amazingly helpful. That really helped slow it down and help me think about, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? If so, why? Am I doing it the right way? I don't want to make a decision out of fear, right? And so you help kind of coach us through, coach me through some of that because everybody was in a different place. And then kind of back to a conversation you and I have had, just being hesitant to kind of jump in to the group setting. And then once I did, I felt more connected with my fellow group members. And that has really helped. Another woman who also in my group started her own business. So we've kind of connected around that.
I love that. Yeah, the community component of a group program like this is huge. And like you saw, there's such a difference when you just sort of show up for the calls versus when you participate. So I love that. And you just made a decision, you turned it around, and you saw the difference immediately. And there was something else you said I wanted to highlight. What was it? I've lost it right now. If it's important, it'll come back to me.
It will. And so
Ah,
for me, oh,
about
yay!
tactics, right? Tactics and strategies and scripts and all of that is important, but the mindset work and making sure, right, we're focused on our own goals and what matters to us and why. That's so important. And so I love that was something that you liked. Because it's not you can read all the books, you can get all the information, you can see how to start a business, but it's not just that, right? It's about starting the right business and doing it in a way that feels good. And another thing you said, which I loved, is how everyone was in a different place, right? And still somehow it worked, right? We have people who, decided to stay in corporate, people who stayed in their jobs, people who changed jobs, people who are thinking about changing careers. We had a couple of you that were starting new businesses. And somehow, it all worked, which was that surprising? Was that?
Yeah, I mean, there was definite hesitation for me. And I kind of realized through the process that I sort of joined. I mean, obviously, I was struggling with something, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I kind of joined in a place where I felt more kind of optimistic and looking forward, and others in the group were still in situations that were really difficult. Um, and so while I didn't relate currently to that, some of the things that you helped coach them through still were relevant to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Which is why I love for people to come to the office hours, even if they don't have questions, because we learn from other people's questions. So beautiful. Last question for you. What would you tell someone who's considering the Find Your Job Joy program?
Do it. I
Do
mean,
it. Yes.
yeah, I mean, seriously, if it's a thing where you want to think about that next step in a really positive, proactive way, I think that's very helpful. So I would definitely do it for that reason, but also just like the one-on-one time with you was so, so valuable. And while we didn't get like into like all the emotion and all that, you did help me just overcome like a hurdle that was holding me back, right? And just that alone would have been worth
Hmm.
the time. And I'm talking about our second one-on-one call. I was like, I don't know what to do, right? And you just kind of helped give me a few strategies. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes we
Got
just
it.
need someone to bounce things off of and brainstorm with, and I love that. Beautiful. Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
All right.
And I will be talking to you soon. Bye, Laurie.
Bye.